it was actually because they are anticipating catastrophic events that are going to happen to the United States. Now, as a result, though, Bonnie, and as a result of what's about to happen in November, there is a strong possibility that we're going to be invaded not long thereafter. And when I say not long thereafter, that may be months, it may be longer, and it has been confirmed to me as well. There is a tremendous, and this is from the FEMA side of things, there is, and that's not through FEMA itself, but through my FEMA source that has also inside information that's kind of like with mine, goes pretty high up, that there's a great concern of war breaking out between the U.S. and other nations, i.e. China. And you have to understand, this was going to be very disconcerting for a lot of people. China and Israel are working very closely together.
Well, doesn't Israel want to bring this country down?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, Bonnie. And that's what's really sad.
There are thousands of troops on Vancouver Island. Canadians are posting videos online.
Yes. That's very sad. Now, another thing, too, this is going to shock a lot of people. I've been told quite some time now that Israel is getting ready to reveal her Messiah. And you have to understand, Bonnie, in the Jewish belief, it's not like what a believer, a Christian is. We know, for example, the son of David, which we all know is Yeshua. We know it's Jesus Christ. We know he's the Messiah. In Jewish belief, and they really take this from the idea of Daniel, because they see that the Messiah is to be cut off, so they know that he has to die, so they believe in what they call two Messiahs. There's the Josephic Messiah, as they call it, and the Davidic Messiah. So it's Mashiach ben David and Mashiach ben Yosef. Mashiach ben Yosef, in their mind, is a anointed individual that fights Israel's battles, defeats the evil foes of Israel, i.e. in this case Iran, but will also hand them the third temple. There has been several rabbis that have suggested that Donald Trump is a very good candidate for that. As they've also pointed out in the Gematria, his name is the same value as Mashiach. I used to think that was kind of far-fetched. And I know that the Israeli government just released a documentary where there's a man, his name is Israel David Cohen, who's currently a psychiatric patient. He was actually a former commander in the Israeli Navy, and he's proclaiming to be the Messiah of Israel.
He's a former psychiatric patient?
He's still a psychiatric patient.
Suicide.
I
see.
So, and he claims, that, he said, I hear voices, but he said, the voices have told me that I am the King Messiah of Israel.
Hmm.
But then I discovered something, Bonnie, that was very troubling, and it's part of what we have been hearing for a long time, that there was some people speculating that Trump converted to Judaism back in 2017.
Yeah.
Well, I found out that is true.
Yeah.
Trump is not a Christian. Trump did convert to Judaism.
And that's why he can abide NAR. But he has a grandparent heritage in Judaism or Jewish people, doesn't he?
He does, and they have done a lot of extensive research on him, and they believe that he comes from the lost tribes of Israel, going back on his side. I don't know if it's paternal or father or whatever, but in Scotland. So
he could easily be Messiah ben Yosef.
This is exactly what I think that they're grooming him for. And of course...
So when he's making the Abrahamic Accord, he is the Messiah of Daniel 9?
I think that's the way they're going to put him. This is them playing out the script for the world. The big part is going to be when he delivers Iran for them and also delivers the building of the third temple.
And when they pretend he is shot on the world screen and they secret him away, as you have said, and then he reappears, is that the wound that is healed?
That's a good question, and I don't know exactly how they will fake his departing. I have been told that they're going to make it look like something happens to him and that he will reemerge later down the road.
There are Christians that have had dreams that they see it on the television set. It's horrible. He's on stage giving a speech and he is shot. I mean, how traumatizing for the people.
Sure it would be.
But that's what they want to do. Look at 9/11. That was all for trauma, and they played it again and again and again for a week. Like, oh, you didn't see it the first 25 times? Well, we'll play it another 25 times. Steven, that's really bizarre.
It is. And the thing is that it's not only that, look when he went into the hospital and he was declared to be COVID positive.
Yeah.
Right? My own doctor calls me up and he's like, this has got to be the biggest hoax I've ever saw.
Yep.
He said, for one, he said, he's asymptomatic. Mm-hmm. He said, okay, they claim he's COVID positive. He said, he's not showing any problems. He said, why would you list the man away to the hospital when he's got perfectly good staff, medical staff at the White House? He said, no telling what they're going to pump into him. And then
you think he's taken something like a chip or something?
They gave him he talked about he had this miracle drug, had to be from God. Well, I just happened to listen to a video today, and I didn't get to finish the full video as of yet, but it's actually called Trump's Gift of Human Fetal and Mouse BLT and I don't even know who the guys, I don't know the guy that actually put the video out, but I was listening to it, and he gives a complete breakdown of what was in this concoction that he's given, and it does include human fetal tissue, some type of mouse that has been changed over into something else. It's like a genetically modified mouse, and this is what they're pumping into the president.
Is it injected? Was it injected?
I don't know if it's injected, pill form, or whatever. I have not seen that part yet. I do know, though, that my own doctor said that after this happened with the president, and he said he came back to the White House and he goes up the steps, he said if he had COVID, he said coronavirus, of course, and he'll tell you coronavirus has been around for years. It's not some novel virus. But he did say if he had it, it's respiratory. He said he wouldn't be going up the steps of the White House like that with no problem. He'd be struggling to catch his breath.
Yeah, and he'd be trying to recuperate from the assault on his body.
Exactly. And then the other thing, Bonnie, that he was really troubled about, this is my doctor, he said, Stephen, then they're telling us, they're telling the American public, this administration is positive. And then the next thing you know, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, so many of them were testing positive. Yeah. He said, wait a minute. He said, do they think that doctors are just that stupid to believe what they're telling? He said, maybe the American public doesn't understand viruses. He said, but viruses take time to go from one individual to another. It's not like you're going to test the entire staff and everybody tests positive. He said, yeah, the president could be positive, but then maybe a week later, another one's positive, another week later, another one's positive, or you might even get 2 or 3 after a week or so, or 2 weeks or so, but not like this. He said, I'm a doctor, Steve. He said, I'm not here to say that corona is not real. I'm just simply saying this is something is up, and I know that for a fact. So,
but the doctors, they try and put videos up on YouTube to tell the populace. They get taken down, they get banned, they get strikes, they get removed.
Sorry for the wiggling.
So, unless your own personal physician is on his toes, because certainly not all the doctors are out there saying that this is a hoax. I just rolled my eyes when I heard it. There's no platform except they go to Brighteon or Patreon or something like that.
Exactly. Exactly, Bonnie. And then, like you said, when it comes to, I mean, to speak about these things and to say, I mean, YouTube, we've had 2 strikes already. Yana's had 2 strikes on her channel. One more strike and boom, we're off the air.
Yep, that's right.
And they're looking to do that.
Yep, sure.
They don't want the truth out there.
Well, you have to come to HNR here.
That's exactly right.
We'll get the truth out.
Yes.
We haven't been found yet, I pray.
Well, that's just a godsend, is what it is, Bonnie.
Yes,
Because
that's right. We can warn people.